Welcome back, everybody, to a semi-special episode here. Right in front of me, I have two versions of Ghost Electric Limeade. Now, the reason I have two is because this is the current one, which is obviously the printed can, but I think it looks really cool. And this was the version that we got, I think, last year, which was originally a collab with EDC. Now, this is the 2025 version. But I do still have a can from last year, the 2024 version. The can design is the same. I think literally the only difference is it obviously says 2024 on it. Now, the reason I'm doing a two-can video here is because from what I've heard, they did change the formula for the new Electric Limeade, and it tastes a little bit better. Now, I have had both before, but I've never had them back-to-back, so I don't really know. I was just kind of going based off memory. But here, I will finally be able to do the real comparison to see if it changed and if it's better. So, for a while, the new one was actually harder to find than the EDC one. And then, one day, I was like, well, I'm an addict, so I need to have a drink. Fuck it. I'll just drink the Electric Limeade, the EDC one, because, you know, I'll be able to easily find that one. I'll leave the new one since that's harder to find. And of course, as soon as I did that, that was at the point when the new one was very easy to find and the EDC one is hard to find. They are both relatively easy to find. I know the new one here you can find at Vitamin Shop, Wegmans, other places like that. Any place that would have carried it probably has it. And the EDC one, you can only find at gas stations now, but it's still pretty common. I found it relatively easily. It took me like 3 different gas stations to find. I don't know. But before the EDC one is gone completely, you need to know which one is better so you know which one to find. And if it happens to be EDC, then you can go find it. That being said, let's start with the EDC. Now, this one actually does have a little bit of a backstory for me. The 2024 version, the one from last year, the first time I ever saw that was at Turkey Hill, which is a gas station that has a different name depending on what part of America you're in. But here on the East Coast, the Northeast, it's called Turkey Hill. And I actually found it on the night of my high school graduation because, you know, our football field is right across the street from a Turkey Hill, and that's where we graduated at. So after everything was done, I walked across the street to Turkey Hill, just, you know, for whatever, I don't know, I was bored. And, yeah, that was the first time I ever saw the Electric Limeade, and I bought it and I drank it the next day. So, yeah, a little bit of backstory there. That was fun. It was a nice little event. But, does the flavor hold up? Well, I think so, but let's really find out. All right. Oh, it kind of smells like dog food, which is weird, and also I probably just have a disease. But it does smell like lime, which I would expect, you know, from an Electric Limeade flavor. This can is very much a collector's piece. Even the 2025 version is still old enough that it's still textured. It does look printed, but it's definitely a sleeve, and it's textured. So it does make a really cool collector's piece. But that being said, how does it taste? Bottoms up. Oh, yeah. Okay, so has a very, very, very slight bleach taste going on, but that doesn't affect the flavor. And I still really like this one, and I'm going to give it an 8, because I think it's a solid flavor. It's not, you know, anything incredible, but if you're looking for a lime drink, this is probably the way to go. It's really good. I do like it. It's just as good as, you know, how I had it before. And let me get this flavor a little more fresh in my system. Nice, solid lime flavor. So, we're going to find out if that one is similar enough to the new one. And the new one. Now, I have no backstory for this. I just heard that they made it, and I saw it one day. Now, I think it's weird that Ghost actually decided to go for a primarily black-colored can, because they've never done that before, and I think it looks really, really cool. I just kind of wish that it wasn't so new that it didn't have a textured variant, because this would probably look really cool with the gradient that they used to do. Because for some reason, and I'm sure if you drink Ghost, you've noticed this, especially with a can like Strawbango, for some reason, when they went to printed cans, they got rid of the gradient. And that doesn't make any sense to me, because I feel like if you're printing on the can, wouldn't it, in theory, be easier to make a gradient? The old Strawbango cans, the textured ones, looked so cool because it faded from like that yellow-orange down to red. It looked awesome. And now it's just flat yellow. And like, it's not completely hideous, but it looks way, way worse. And obviously, you know, I like texture because I'm a bitch. But I don't know what kind of gradient you'd have on black, maybe white to black or something. It could look really cool. But, you know, how does this affect the flavor? Probably not at all. But there's only one way to find out. Fuck. There we go. Oh, yeah. Well, it smells exactly the same. So that's kind of to be expected. But does it taste the same? No. It's definitely a little bit sweeter. I don't know how to explain it other than it's like a lighter flavor. Not like it's more airy, but just it tastes brighter, if that makes any sense. Let's compare it to this one. Okay. It tastes slightly brighter. I want to say it's better, but I can't really say that. They're honestly the same. They are really good. Still an 8, you know, maybe 8.5. They're pretty damn good. So if you want it, I mean, unless you like the can and you want to keep it, there's no real reason to look for the EDC one in particular. You're going to have an easier time finding Electric Limeade, I think, the new one. I don't know why I keep calling it Electric Limeade, like they're two different flavors. But yeah, they're really good. And I think if you ever find one, whichever one it is, definitely try it. Because if you like lime, this is great. So yeah, I'm going to go, actually, you know, I'm just going to say overall 8.5. Because they're fairly accessible and they're really good. And they're definitely better than your basic citrus flavor. Hooray.